610, the Prophet Muhammad has a visitation by the Archangel Gabriel. So this ancient Roman, Persian-dominated world is about to have a really shocking surprise sprung on them. The Prophet Muhammad will start slowly teaching first his family members and his friends, and then eventually he starts to teach other people about the message that he's getting from the Archangel Gabriel. At first, he thinks that he's being given the instructions for how to take Judaism and Christianity and merge them back together. He thinks that his religion is to be a unifying religion. But as he interacts with and deals with Christians and Jews, he realizes that no, this is a third religion, that this is sort of a third installment, if you will. This is Judaism 3.0. Once he realizes that, he makes the Sabbath Friday, right? Because the Sabbath for the Jews was already Saturday, the Sabbath for the Christians was already Sunday. So he decides, I got to have my own Sabbath, so he makes it Friday. And he doesn't go for unification anymore. He pushes in a different direction. Having said that, the pagan population that's around him, there's a Jewish population and a Christian population, but they're minorities like the Muslims are. The pagan population is the majority in Mecca, the city he's from. They don't want him. They don't want his religion. They don't want anything to do with this, and they begin persecuting him and his followers. After about 12 years of persecution, he and his followers decide they can't do it anymore. And in 622, they do the Hijra, and they move from Mecca to another city in the Arabian Peninsula that we call today Medina. It was at the time called Yathrib. And basically, he had struck a deal with the people of Medina to let him and his followers move there, and they do. For the next 10 years, the Prophet Muhammad ends up being more of a political leader than a religious leader. He will slowly evolve into the leader of Medina. The Meccans are going to attack him with an army. He actually ends up having to fight the Meccans in multiple battles. Eventually, he will conquer his hometown. He becomes sort of an Old Testament prophet, very different from the Jesus figure who's clearly just confining himself to theological matters. The Prophet Muhammad actually becomes a state leader. In 632, shortly after conquering Mecca, he dies. And that is when things are going to get really interesting. First of all, he didn't handpick a successor. So he's not establishing a hereditary monarchy. What's supposed to happen is the Muslim community is supposed to pick their next leader. So at its core, the process for determining who the next person will be is actually quite democratic. Now, it's democratic in the sense that it's the Muslim leadership of the community. It's not the whole community that's making this decision, but it's the leaders within the community who are making it. And they have a vote, and they pick a guy named Abu Bakr to become the next leader of the Muslims. He's going to take on the title of Khalif. Khalif means follower. The Prophet Muhammad's title was Rasulullah, which means basically messenger of God. So his real title is Khalifa Rasulullah, the follower of the messenger of God.